What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And this is nothing new to you guys, but this is the kind of stuff that is going to get more and more frequent. It's going to become more frequent. And this is just that we're in the winter months, folks. When the weather's nice and everything is warm, you're going to start to see more people and more riots and protests take place. This is just the beginning. All the tension, all that pent up frustration that people are, accruing during these winter months will show during the spring and summertime. Believe me, because that's when the weather's warm, that's when the sun is out. And this is just the beginning. This is just sad to see. Like what the morality is just gone. And we got to be careful not to be calloused by seeing all this, that it just doesn't affect us because you see it so often. No, this is awful. This is horrible. Just watch this video and you'll see how people's sense of morality and people's sense of good is just gone down the drain.
Illinois, a coordinated smash and grab swarm overwhelmed security at a Louis Vuitton store. More than a dozen people stole more than $100,000 in handbags and more. In downtown San Francisco this past weekend, another Vuitton store and more hit by a mob.
This is not a problem limited to San Francisco.
Just outside the city, burglars, their arms filled with merchandise, made their getaway from a Nordstrom Saturday night. An employee was pepper sprayed during the brazen raid.
Probably saw 50 to 80 people in like ski masks, crowbars, a bunch of weapons.
They fled in 10 cars. 3 arrests were made, 2 guns recovered. Sunday night, another raid at another Bay Area mall.
The thing that we are not used to is these groups' willingness to actually use firearms and shoot at people.
At the Grove down in LA, a Nordstrom was hit Monday night. $5,000 worth of goods stolen, $15,000 worth of damage. This mall had beefed up security after the protests that followed the murder of George Floyd.
You saw these bad guys with 20-pound sledgehammers having a very difficult time to break a window because all of our windows have ballistic film on them.
Many more malls now beefing up security, and Californian authorities promising action.
These people need to be held to account. We need to investigate these crimes. We need to break up these crime rings. And we need to make an example out of these folks.
In Oakland this weekend,
we will have tactical teams deployed throughout the city.
But as we saw at that San Francisco raid, even when cops are quick to the scene, with a mob, many will still get away. So why is this happening right now? Well, the stores are fully stocked for the holidays, and there's also a market for stolen goods this time of year. And some experts tell us the penalties for this sort of crime just aren't high enough. Here in California, for example, if you steal goods worth $950 or less, that's not a felony. That's just a misdemeanor. Nick Watt, CNN.
And here's the thing. Not only are people incentivized to steal because it's only a misdemeanor and it doesn't really, affect them much, because these policies are so outrageous, so dumb, and the policies what's creating and what's allowing for a lot of these issues to happen. I mean, if you look at the trucker industry, right? The policies are nonsensical. And on top of that, it is the holiday season. People are at a loss of jobs, money, right? They still want to be able to have Christmas gifts, but if they don't have a job that, gives them money, well, they're going to resort to stealing and committing these kinds of crimes, especially when if they were to get stopped, the penalty for that crime is only a misdemeanor. And so, as we watch these things, we have to be careful. Nowadays, I mean, I don't even know how safe it is to even go to the mall, to one of these stores. Because if you get caught in the middle of one of these crime rings that bust into a store, you may be at the wrong place, the wrong time. And anything can really happen. We're living in dangerous times. And as the economy, as people begin to lose more jobs, as frustrations get built up, as the government hiding and skewing data, right, for the people who have taken the medicine, right? And they're not giving us all the information, the accurate information. And even when they are hiding that away from the public, the information that is given is still showing that these medicine mandates don't make any sense. Therefore, I always advocate on this channel that you take the information that I give and you do your own critical thinking. Be independent. Don't let others make you do the thinking for you. You take some time to absorb the information and come up with scenarios in your head of why it makes sense or why it doesn't make sense. Don't be lazy with the information, because then it'll be easy to accept whatever's given to you. Always question. Always question. And I want to just be a source of knowledge, a source of information being delivered to you guys, and you guys digest it in whatever way you guys see fit for yourselves. And that's why, for me, I decided that this was something important that I had to do, because we're at a crossroads, folks. We're literally in the midst of a great reset. Don't think of it as coming in the future. No, we're in it right now. And I do believe that come next summer, when protests and riots get out of hand and more of this looting and all this, or robbery or crime, whatever you want to call it, it's going to get exacerbated. And that dark winter that Biden's talking about, I mean, we're in the midst of that too. And with all these energy policies and energy prices going up, you're going to see a lot of people die from this energy crisis, because a lot more people die in the cold than they do in the hot seasons. So with that being said, this is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.